So you're in your late 20s or 30s. You've done everything right. You got the degree. You got the good job. You're climbing the ladder. So why does it feel less like a career path and more like a 40-year prison sentence? Why are you already feeling completely burnt out? What if I told you there's a mathematical loophole that the traditional finance industry doesn't really advertise? A formula that proves you might be able to quit that soul-crushing job, not in 3 decades, but in the next 5 to 10 years. This isn't about winning the lottery or eating ramen noodles for the rest of your life. And it's definitely not about getting lucky with some crypto pump and dump. It's about understanding the simple math behind a powerful idea called Coast Fire. And today, I'm going to walk you through the exact step-by-step math to reach your personal escape number. Let's be honest, the modern work environment is a recipe for burnout, especially for millennials. We entered the workforce facing sluggish wage growth and record-breaking student loans. Now we're juggling the always-on work culture, the pressure to have a side hustle, and the endless scroll of social media posts showing perfection that makes you feel like you're constantly falling behind. It's the double whammy of anxiety coupled with a really strong work ethic. We are working ourselves to the bone. And for many of us, achieving financial freedom feels like a distant dream. This isn't just a feeling. It's reality backed by data. Year after year, surveys from Deloitte show that millennials and Gen Z are constantly putting off major life decisions like buying a house and starting a family because of their financial situation. It's the classic golden handcuffs dilemma. A salary that's good enough to make you terrified to leave, but not good enough to provide any real freedom. You look at your boss and you just see a more tired, stressed out version of yourself. You don't want that future. The thought of doing this for another 30 years isn't just unappealing, it's terrifying. This is the burnout cycle. You don't want to just survive it. You want to build an escape hatch. This is where Coast Fire comes in. You've probably heard of the main FIRE movement, financial independence, retire early. That's the hardcore version where you have to save 50, 60, sometimes even 70% of your income to completely retire in your 30s or 40s. Well, this isn't that. For many of us, that just seems impossible. Coast Fire is different. It's FIRE's more chilled out, achievable cousin. Think of it like this. Instead of sprinting a marathon, it's more like sprinting the first few hundred yards and then jogging or even walking the rest of the distance. Here's the main idea. You save and invest aggressively early on until you hit a very specific number. And at that point, you coast. The compound interest from your portfolio does the heavy lifting. Once you hit that number, the idea is that you can stop making retirement contributions entirely and let the magic of compound interest grow that account into a full retirement fund by the time you reach a traditional retirement age. Let me say that again. You've reached a point where you can stop saving for retirement. You're not financially independent yet, but your retirement accounts are on autopilot. It's the ultimate anti-burnout formula. Once you hit that Coast Fire number, the pressure valve's released. You don't have to keep grinding for the highest paying job just to make sure that you can retire someday. You're coasting. All right, let's get into the math. Don't worry, it's not complicated calculus. It's simple arithmetic that can change the way you view your life and your career. Now, there are three main steps to finding your Coast Fire number. First, we need to know what the finish line looks like. We need to understand how much you're going to need to spend when you're fully retired. This is your financial independence number, or FI number. A popular rule of thumb is to follow the 4% rule, which is backed by research that shows that you can withdraw up to 4% of your portfolio balance every year in your retirement. To get your financial independence number, you just flip the math. Multiply your desired retirement spending by 25 to get the portfolio balance that you need in retirement. So let's do a simple example. Let's say in retirement, you want to spend $50,000 in today's money. So we take $50,000, multiply it by 25, and we get $1.25 million. I know what you're thinking. 1.25 million seems like a crazy number to save, especially in the next 5 to 10 years. But stay with me. The next step is easy. We just need to know how long your money has to grow. It's the N in the compound interest formula. To get that, we just take your desired retirement age minus your current age to give us how many years until your retirement age. Most people in Coast Fire choose 65 as a traditional retirement age. Let's say you're 30 years old. So we'd take 65 minus 30 to get 35 years. That's how long your portfolio has to grow to be fully funded for your retirement. So you have 35 years for your investments to grow. That's a ton of time for compounding to work its magic. This is the moment of truth. Now we just need to figure out how much you need invested today to grow into that 1.25 million you need for retirement. This is your Coast Fire number. We're just taking your future goal and reverse engineering it to figure out what you need right now. The formula may look a little scary, but it's not. We already have your financial independence number, 1.25 million, and the amount of time that your investments can compound, 35 years. Now we just need to figure out what the R is, which is the rate of return. Now, most people in the FIRE community use 7% for this number. And that comes from a 10% historical average return of the S&P 500 minus the average inflation, 3%. Let's just plug in our numbers. We take 1.25 million and divide it by 1.07 to the 35th power, which comes out to roughly $117,000. That's all you need today to hit your escape number. Let that sink in. For a 30-year-old who wants to spend $50,000 in retirement, your escape number is about $117,000 invested. So theoretically, once you hit that number, you've done the heavy lifting. You can stop contributing to your retirement accounts and coast. That means every dollar you earn from that point on just needs to cover your basic expenses. So where do you stand? This part is simple. Just compare your Coast Fire number to what you currently have invested. That includes everything in your 401ks, IRAs, and any taxable brokerage accounts. Using our example, the number to hit is $117,000. But let's say you're a really good saver and you already have $80,000 saved. That means your Coast Fire gap is only $37,000. That's the new goal, and it's much smaller and much less intimidating. Your entire focus can shift to investing that last $37,000 as fast as you can. Once you do, you've hit your escape goal. If that number is negative or zero, congratulations. You've already hit Coast Fire. This isn't just a spreadsheet exercise. This is a life exercise. Hitting your Coast Fire number is a permission slip. It is the key to unlock a door you might have thought was welded shut. So what does that freedom actually look like? It means you can seriously consider quitting that toxic job that is impacting your mental health. It means you can take a lower paying job that offers amazing work-life balance. It means maybe you go part-time to spend more time with your kids. It means maybe you can start that business idea you have without the crushing pressure that it needs to fund your retirement from day one. This isn't about being lazy. This is about being intentional. It's about trading the frantic chase of more money for the deliberate pursuit of a better life. It's about buying back your time, your energy, and your sanity in your prime years, your 30s and 40s, when you actually have the health and drive to enjoy them. This number is proof that there is an alternative to the burnout treadmill. Okay, I have to be a responsible guy here and say that this isn't flawless magic. These numbers are built on assumptions, and you absolutely have to understand them. The biggest variable is your returns. We use 7%, but the markets are unpredictable. There could be a lost decade with flat returns. The 4% rule is also just a guideline built on historical US data for a 30-year retirement. It's not the law of physics. And also, your spending may change over the course of your life. Because of this, it's smart to be conservative. Maybe you pad your retirement spending. Maybe you lower your rate of return. Instead of using 7%, you use 6% or 5%. Maybe you adjust your withdrawal rate from 4% to 3%. In fact, most people, even after hitting Coast Fire, continue to save a little bit for retirement, to stay in the habit and to build a little bit of a buffer. Think of Coast Fire not as a rigid rule, but a flexible yet powerful guideline. It's a tool that can give you perspective and a tangible goal to fundamentally change the course of your career. To help you with this, I've created a simple calculator that does all the math for you. You just input your age, how much you have invested, and how much you plan to spend in retirement to find your own personal Coast Fire number. The link is in the description below. Go find your number. And when you have it, come back and leave a comment. You don't have to share your numbers, but answer me this. If you hit Coast Fire tomorrow, what would you change about your life? Would you pursue a passion? Would you quit a toxic job? Let's fill up the comments with some inspiration. And of course, if you found this video helpful, subscribing really helps out the channel, and I greatly appreciate it. The feeling of burnout is real, and it often comes from a sense of feeling powerless in a financial system that seems very rigid. But you're not powerless. You have the single most powerful tool in finance: time. Coast Fire is more than just a number. It's a mindset shift. It's the realization that with some strategic, early effort, you can put the biggest financial burden of your life, saving for retirement, on autopilot decades ahead of schedule. It's the knowledge that you have options. And in a world that makes you feel trapped, having options is everything. Go find your number. It might just be the most important one you ever calculate.